The first ever video game was a sports game, Pong. And since then, the sports game genre grew immensely. Everything from FIFA to Wii Sports. And with time, sports games started becoming more leaning towards a realistic style rather than an unrealistic. Games such as FIFA Street faded away into obscurity. Companies such as EA started focusing on creating Ultimate Team, catering to people with access to either Fort Knox or kids stealing credit cards from their parents. But during the time of PlayStation 2, the sports games were unique and experimental, and a perfect example of a good sports game came from back then. And that is SSX3. For a quick recap, SSX is a snowboard game with several sequels such as SSX Tricky and On Tour. And we don't talk about that one. But the one game standing out is SSX3. SSX3 is an open-world snowboard paradise with several different types of slopes and tracks. Being open world was new for the SSX franchise, and it was jaw-dropping back then when it was first released. The first thing you're greeted with when you start the game is an action-packed montage followed by a catchy main menu song. The game has 3 game modes: single event for quick play, multiplayer for split screen, I didn't even know this game had an online feature, and the primary game mode, Conquer the Mountain, which is the campaign. Each of the 10 playable characters have separate campaigns, which are more or less exactly the same. Picking a character puts you on peak 1 out of 3, and by winning competitions, progress you to eventually unlock the next peak. To progress to the next peak, you need to win all tracks within either trick or race. But before progressing, you will be challenged by another character to an off-piste slope, with nothing but snow and sharp rocks. After the duel, you will be challenged to an all-peak challenge that makes you either trick or race from the top to the bottom track, Metropolis. This formula is the same for all peaks, and from peak 3, the last challenge is to ride through the entire game under 30 minutes. And this challenge is one of the reasons why this specific game stands out from the rest of the SSX franchise. The all-peak challenges are extremely fun and challenging. It was almost like speedrunning before it got popular. You get such an adrenaline rush of being just seconds behind when you're halfway through the track. And restarting after playing for 28 minutes always felt rough. In general, the peaks works at different difficulties. Peak 1 is easy with simple and fun tracks. Peak 2 is a bit more challenging with more tricky tracks and faster NPCs. And finally Peak 3, which has extremely difficult parts. If you want a real good challenge, clear the track Kick Doubt and get first place. Kick Doubt is the most difficult track other than the last peak challenge for gold placing. And other than going downhill and doing some sweet tricks, there are... The prior game have different skins for the characters, but SSX3 was the first game that lets the player to fully custom tailor an outfit for the favorite character. Even though there are few choices of clothing here and there's plenty to change up to make one's playthrough different. I made mine a cowboy mountain ranger. In the campaign you can receive money for buying new gear, but most importantly, upgrade your character. For every step in each skill, it costs more and more, and eventually, when you've fully upgraded your character, Peak 3 becomes a little bit easier. You can also buy collectibles and cheat characters that works as skins for your character. While free riding through the mountains, you can stumble upon collectible snowflakes, which gives you a little bit of money. Collecting them all is extremely time consuming, but a fun thing to do except for doing the races and trick challenges. And there are also something called free ride challenges, with different tasks to do all over the mountain. There's one challenge where you have to pop 3 balloons in one track, and another one where you have to get 250,000 points without falling once. And these challenges can either be super easy and fun, or straight up frustrating. Even though I am extremely biased towards this game, since I grew up with it, this game is not perfect. While playing split screen, the characters have their stats from the campaign. So if you want it to be fair, you have to either fully upgrade 2 characters or playing with 2 bad ones.
Now if you'll be so kind as to leave, so I can get ready for work tomorrow.
Excellent choice, dude!
Get out of my house!
And just sometimes, the game just wants you to fall or jump wrong. Even though you have enough speed, the game just wants you to jump left or right, or too short or too far. So many times I've accidentally jumped into a rock with a high combo meter.
Come on, buddy, don't be slower than them.
Even though the game has flaws, it has 10-fold more strengths. One of the strongest features of this game is its soundtrack. It is one of the best playlists of songs compiled into a video game. And if it wasn't obvious, this game's music shaped my music interest immensely as a kid.
Let's go!
I went from typical kid songs to punk rock with this game. And with the music combined with amazing sound design, it is extremely satisfying to just plow through the mountains. Just the sound of landing, the dense sound with the snowboard, makes my arm hair raise.
Nice. Nice.
Before I was even going to record the material for this video, my copy of the game didn't work. And the weird thing is I remembered playing it a year ago with my friends, so it was a bit of a surprise that it wouldn't work. By inspecting it, I noticed that the disc had several scratches, so I actually bought another copy online, because this game deserves it. All in all, this game is a must-play for snowboard enthusiastic people, or people who just want to try some older games, because this is one of the games that really age well. If you want a snowboard game that leans more towards the extreme, fun, goofy style, rather than the more realistic style of more modern snowboard games, this is the game for you. And that concludes this video. If you watched it all the way through, I'm sorry. But if you like it, it would mean a lot if you subscribe, or even just share this video to others.